Hello and welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Today is July 1st, 2021. I'm Elle, and this is where I share progress on my cross stitch. Majority of what I work on is full coverage. I throw in a few other things here and there, but my real passion is full coverage. So if you enjoy full coverage, I hope you'll stick around and see what I've got. You can expect a new video every month on the 1st. So let's just get right into it. Before I do, I want to apologize for the quality of the last video. I was trying to increase my speed of upload. A 15-20 minute video will take me roughly 3.5 to 4 hours to upload. So I tried to compress the video to make it quicker to upload, which it did, but it wasn't until later that I realized the quality had suffered. So I won't compress the video. Your picture quality should be a lot better from now on. If you ever have any problems, please let me know and let me correct it in the future. So let's get on to what I stitched this past month. I was excited in June after doing Mania and not touching Nerthus. I was so excited to get back to this. Unfortunately, I picked this up on a day that I had a headache. And the more I looked at all this confetti and was focusing on, now this is on 20 count, 2/1. It's just a white Zweigart Ada, but it was just straining my eyes and causing my headache to get worse. I got just over 200 stitches in, and I decided I needed to put this down. Unfortunately, I never got back to it. So this is going to be a focus this coming month, but more on that later. So as the headache started to subside, I decided I needed something simple and not something that would strain my eyes. So I picked up my 2017 Linen and Threads band sampler, and I was currently working on the May band. So I finished the May band, and I came up here and did the April band, came up here and did the March band, and then I started the February band. Now this here is all I have left of the February, and then I can move on to January, and this will be done. So I was really excited. I decided I needed to work on something else though, because I knew the January band was going to take time, and I wanted to see progress on something besides this. So I set this aside, and I pulled out Stevie Ray, which was not the greatest choice. As you can see, I'll put in a picture of where this had been and what this is supposed to look like when it's done. This is a Heaven and Earth design. I'm stitching this 2/1 on 14 count. This is just a light blue. It's a generic fabric. It's a nice fabric. I wish I knew what it was because it's not as Zweigart, but it is soft. It's not quite as soft, but it's nice to work on. It's got a good feel to it. After working on the band sampler, coming here and working the band sampler, I can't speak. I'm doing and B5200. This is 3865. So going from one white to another white, I was just getting really bored of white. So I put, let's see here, 1,891 stitches in this. And then I just set it aside. I thought, no, I'm done with the white. At that point, I pulled out John Lennon. And this again is a Heaven and Earth design. And I wanted to do this to join in on a Sal by Linda Gurr. And let me see if I can get this right. It's Cross Stitch Europe All Around the World Sal. I'm not sure, that's the hashtag. I'm not sure if that's the exact hashtag. I'll put it down below, and I'll link to Laura so you can follow her. And I thought, yeah, oops, wrong way. There we go, it was sideways. And I thought, John Lennon, perfect. That has to do with Europe. Now she's left it very open-ended. Anything that you can associate with Europe. It could be a food, it could be a landscape, it could be anything. And I thought, you know what? John Lennon, Europe, yep, that works for me. So I hadn't planned to pull this out, but after all that white, having some bright color was nice. All right, so this one I am stitching 2/1 on 18 count white Zweigart, and you can see the stripe here. Now you might also want, if you enjoy seeing how this develops, you might want to check out Dixon Stitchery on Instagram. She's just over 50% done with hers. And it's beautiful. It is really gorgeous. Okay, so after that, I pulled out my newest start, and this is Allison Snow White by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This is a Heaven and Earth design. And I wanted to complete the first page. And the majority of it was black, so I knew this would stitch up pretty quickly, and it did. I finished the first page, and you can see here and around here, this is whenever I had extra thread on my needle, instead of trimming it off, I just carried it into the next page. This right down in here is Alice's hair. So I was happy to see that. I did 7,012 stitches. I'm stitching this 2/1 on 16 count platinum by Zweigart. And I wouldn't normally stitch this on 16 count, but when I went to buy fabric was hard to come by, and 16 was the only one I could get in a large enough piece. So that's what I did. Then I decided I really had to get to work on my grandson's blanket. As many of you know, I'm stitching an Afghan of Plants vs. Zombies characters. It's one of his favorite games. This month I added, excuse me, the Imp and the Endorian. And then I came over here, let's see if I can get this without making you dizzy. Okay, I have this set up, there we go. I thought I had this set up so I could do this much quicker. And I stitched the excavator zombie. So he's in there. So most of these I'm stitching, I've created myself. The ones I didn't, I've purchased from Lab Pattern on Etsy. This one I did myself. All three of these this month I did myself. So that's where that stands. I'll put a picture in of where this is now, and you can see how far I've come. This is one I want finished by the end of the year because I'm just tired. I want to be done with it. And my grandson's been very patient, so I want to get it done for him. Now, I pulled out something I really hadn't intended to pull out. This is Luigis Mansion. I charted this myself. This is the image of what it will look like when it's done. I charted this in, this currently is charted in Pixel Stitch. I'm doing this 1/1 on 25 count. I pulled this out because I was watching Darren, the Dizzy Stitcher, and he talked about a new program called Markup that worked like Pattern Keeper, but you could use it on Apple products. And I thought, oh yes, I can use that for everything that doesn't work in Pattern Keeper until Pattern Keeper is able to accept a lot of other project or charts. So I downloaded it and I thought, this one's easy. I'll pull this out. I don't really have a lot of time, but I'm working on the bottom row of pages, and they're only 20 stitches high for this row of pages. I started the first column, went to work my way back up on the second column, and realized something wasn't lining up. And that's when I realized that while it's advertised as working with all programs that create cross-stitch patterns, it's not as accurate. So while I highlighted the symbol, it did not highlight all of those symbols. So as I came down, I caught that those symbols weren't all highlighted, and I had to go back. So after playing around with it a while, I decided, okay, I don't like it for this. And I went back and I finished most of this page. There's a couple colors I'm missing. I first charted this in Pick-to-Pat, and I kitted it up, bought all the threads I needed for that chart. I'm missing, now that I've recharted it, I'm missing a couple colors. So, okay, it didn't work for that, but it was supposed to work for paper charts. And I thought, okay, let's see how that works, because I have a Kindle for working in Pattern Keeper, and the Kindle, the camera is very poor on it, and so it doesn't get a good enough picture in order to take a picture of a paper chart and upload it. And I thought, well, if I can do this on this program, maybe. I had a heck of a time with it. Now, I started with a chart. This is a Paula Vaughn. This is October Quilt. I'll show you where it was. I was further along and I had a mistake, so I had to rip a whole bunch out and I'm restarting it. But I've added this in. This here is new. The bowl I think is new. Because this is in color, the chart is, and because the chart doesn't start with a full block of 10, nor does it end in a full block of 10. This one is 6 by 10 and the bottom is 3 by 10. So all the lines on here won't coordinate with all the lines on the new chart, or on the program. The other thing I found is you can't collate pages in this program. So I literally would have to work from this, then take another picture for another file to work on the other page. Same with the full coverage. It didn't collate the pages, so you had to go page by page by page. And because this is in color and because the lines on that program are in color, it was just very hard to see. So I ended up going back. I have this in Xodo, is Xodo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And this is easy to follow. So I just took a picture. What I do is I take a picture, then I upload that picture to a free program online, which converts it to a PDF, and then I can put it in any program I want and work it. This I'm working 2/1 on 18 count, and this is Barnwood by Picture This Plus. Okay, so that was the end of my stitching for the month. Let me show you something I'm looking forward to stitching as I finish up what I currently have started. This is Nightmare Before Christmas. This is by Anna Cross Stitch on Etsy. Now she has some giant, if you enjoy full coverage, giant pieces like your supersized Heaven and Earth, you will find quite a few on her Etsy page. This one is not. This is 250 by 360, which is a typical size for me. And this one is 99 cents. She has a lot of the Disney stuff, 99 cents. So if you're interested, take a look at Anna Cross Stitch. Now my July plans. Well, I'm going to work on Christmas in July. And this is the first one. This was a birthday gift. My birthday is right around Christmas, so getting a Santa for my birthday is perfectly, normal for me. Anyway, this is a Jim Shore by Mill Hill, and this is all the further that I've gotten. And I want to finish this year. My grandchildren gave this to me. Now, their mom bought it, but they gave it to me for my birthday, and I want to be able to have this finished on display for the holidays this year. The next one that I'm going to stitch is Christmas Dachshund. This is by Patterns Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is for my granddaughter. She, every year now, wants to pick her own ornament. I used to surprise them with something that they're into for that year. Now she has a dachshund and she's obsessed. She just did a book report at school for on dachshunds, on the history of them, actually. I learned quite a bit when she was telling me. Anyway, she wants a dachshund this year. Now my grandson is into Luigi, so this is something new for him. He's been playing Luigis Mansion. And so I found this. It's called Super Mario Christmas Sampler by Choco Coco Stitch. And all I'm going to do is pull out the tree and the Luigi carrying the present. And I'm going to stitch those two. After that, I'm going to work on whatever calls to me. Now, I probably will bring out, let me get this set up. I will probably bring this back out, my band sampler, and see how far I can get that. And the other one I want to make progress on is Nerthus, and see how far I can get there. And because my grandchildren are teenagers now, they're 13 this year, they stay up quite late. So I think what I'm going to do, even though I'm not good at just working 100 or so stitches, I'm only going to have an hour or two at night before bed that I can work. So I'm going to pull this out and see if I can get 100, 200 stitches in every night and see how far I can get. And that's about all that I have planned. I may pull out a few other things. We'll see. I'm just going to do whatever calls to me. What do they call that? Stitch what you want when you want. So I'd love to know, are you going to do Christmas in July? And if so, what patterns are you working on? I hope you have a great stitchy month. I'll see you again on the 1st of August. Have a great month. Goodbye.